You're watching Hot Ticket, your source for what's happening in Hampton Roads. I'm your host, Jenny Chung. This year marks the 49th Annual Humanitarian Awards Dinner, where the Virginia Center for Inclusive Communities, otherwise known as VCIC, recognizes individuals that live its mission of promoting respect and understanding on all issues of diversity for all age groups. Here to talk about this year's honorees are President and CEO Jonathan Zor and this year's Chair, Jerry Bridges, President and CEO of the Bridges Group International. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Jenny.
It's always a pleasure to have you, Jonathan. And again, it's a great time to honor people that want to promote diversity and inclusivity in our community. How wonderful is that?
It's really exciting. The Virginia Center for Inclusive Communities has been around serving the Commonwealth of Virginia for 78 years. And for 49 of those, we've had the Humanitarian Awards Dinner as a way to celebrate the values that our organization lives out every day by recognizing individuals and organizations who promote understanding and respect, who help schools, businesses, and communities to live out our mission of achieving success through inclusion.
That's wonderful. And Mr. Bridges, you're this year's chair person. How does that feel? It's quite an honor, isn't it?
It certainly is. And following last year's event and previous events, the dinner chairs played a very important role in the success of the Tidewater Humanitarian Award Dinner. And I'm just extremely honored and proud to serve in that role this year.
Well, Mr. Bridges, you know, it's really important that the business and civic community come together to promote what the VCIC stands for. Why do you believe it's important?
Well, obviously, based on the comments that Jonathan just made, as well as the results of this organization, it's just been tremendous over the years. And there's certainly a need for the values that VCIC brings to the table. And that's demonstrated entirely by the growth in the participation in the organization. Over 370% growth since 2005 is just a tremendous testament of how well this organization is doing and the value that it brings to the community. In a nutshell, what's wrong with inclusiveness and dealing with prejudices and other things that tend to divide our communities? We need to come together at this point.
Yeah, and you know, unfortunately in the news today, we still do read stories or hear stories that, you know, aren't inclusive and aren't diverse. So there is still a lot of work ahead of you, correct?
There definitely is. You know, just last night I heard from a student, he'd gone through one of our programs when he was in 9th grade. And had been bullied in school and was feeling really victimized and often felt depressed about his life and his school experience. Now he's a junior in high school, and he was writing to let me know that he'd been selected to be a part of a national conference to focus on safe schools and bullying. And he credits his work with the Virginia Center for Inclusive Communities 2.5 years ago as putting him in the place where he'd be able to take on this leadership role locally and nationally.
I mean, that's incredible feedback, and especially like bullying and things that our young kids are going through today. There's a lot that they have to deal with, and to be able to turn to the VCIC and the programs that they have, it probably really helps pull them through these rough times.
We've seen so much success in schools being able to reduce discipline referrals and students being able to take on leadership and promote understanding and respect. And so VCIC's mission is as relevant today as it's ever been.
Let's talk about this year's honorees really quickly. Carlos Clanton, can you tell me a little bit about
Carlos
him?
is a good friend and a very valued member of the community. He serves as the executive director of the Norfolk Education Foundation, which ties very closely in with what we're trying to achieve at VCIC. Carlos can be seen at events all over the community, from singing the national anthem at various dinners to working hands-on with the kids at the various schools in Norfolk. He's just a tremendous personality and a great guy.
How wonderful. Now, Harold Cobb.
Harold Cobbs is leader of Grace Episcopal Church, and through his ministry, the church is involved in so many different service and outreach programs, and he personally serves on boards for the Hampton Roads Community Foundation, for the Norfolk Airport, and so many others, making a difference throughout the community.
We just have a little bit of time left, but I want to get through the last two. Robert Nussbaum.
Robert Nussbaum is an attorney and has been on boards. He's in his late 80s, early 90s, and is really spent his life working for civil rights and social justice professionally and personally.
Barbara Ham Lee.
Barbara Ham Lee, through her work with Another View and WHRO, is always bringing diverse perspectives perspectives and worldviews to the table and making sure the community knows about all of the different
And last but not least, Marion Bear Tie Catch.
Marion Bear Tie Catch has a long history of service through her business, Tie Catch Financial, as well as through her personal life in Beth Shalom Village and lots of other causes.
Well, these are truly significant people in our community that are being honored, and they deserve it. The 49th Annual Humanitarian Awards Dinner occurs at the Norfolk Waterside Marriott Hotel on Thursday, March 21st. Learn more about the event as well as the VCIC by going to inclusiveva.org. And we'll see you next time on Hot Ticket.